Hi, my name is Christopher Hodges. I'm the author of Noble Automation Now: How to Innovate, Motivate, and Transform with Intelligent Automation and Beyond. This is the first video of a series called The 3 Biggest Mistakes We All Make When Implementing Intelligent Automation Solutions. So, what are the 3 fatal mistakes that we often tend to make when implementing intelligent automation? The first mistake is what I call abandon your team, and that's exactly what it sounds like. Abandoning your team basically means letting your team go on their own without the support that they need from the executive leadership or the champion of the project, and that's quite possibly you. So what does that look like? Well, there are 3 really common examples, one of which is failing to provide quality resources. So you tell somebody their job is to automate this wonderful thing, but you don't give them the quality people that they need. Oftentimes people get assigned people from other parts of the company or from their own parts of the company who are not very valuable. They're what I call the available few who can contribute to the project. Well, you can imagine if you give the available few to a project what the likelihood of success is. A second example is ignoring roadblocks. So many times we have a hope and pray mentality and we go, well, there's a lot of things that are going to get in their way, but I'm just going to hope that those roadblocks get out of the way. The political infighting between departments, or the conflicts in schedule, or the fact that so-and-so doesn't like so-and-so, or it's not on somebody else's agenda. If we ignore those roadblocks, we leave the team to their peril. And their peril means they're going to hit the roadblocks sure as heck. And unfortunately, those roadblocks are probably going to stop them. So that's a second example of abandoning your team. A third example is ignoring the team member futures. So you pull somebody out of their job and they're working on something really important, and you put them on this project and you tell them that's important too, right? So they work on the project, they do a lot of great stuff, but as the project gets toward the end, they start to worry, what's my next thing going to be? And they might start dragging their heels about when the project gets finished, or they might get very squirrely and start looking outside the project team for other things to do. Then the project suffers because they're not focused. We used to call that keep your eyes in the boat when you're trying to go forward. So the best way around that, of course, is to not ignore team member futures or the futures of those team members. So here's a couple of best practices that work quite well in the intelligent automation space. And I call that noble automation. So the reason it's noble is because you're actually paying attention to the stakeholders, and in this case, your team, what matters to them. So one great example, provide the best people the training and the help that they need. You can't ask a team to do a bunch of stuff and then not give them the help or the training. Tell them what the various automation tools can do or how they link together. Or don't give them the best people who actually understand what can be done, especially within the technology team when you're blending the business and the technology team. So that's best practice number 1. Best practice number 2, shield your team from the politics. I look at it in my role as an executive, it's my job to take the arrows. Really, you're like out there being for target practice for all that internal political garbage that goes on. So that's my job, to take the arrows. And that's your job too, is to take those arrows to your team so your team can get done what they need to get done. Otherwise, they get distracted, things don't get completed. That really is let's just say, an inhibitor in the way the project gets done. And the third best practice is to provide inspiring futures for your team. An inspiring future means a clear, compelling thing for them to be looking forward to, right? Are they going to get promoted? Are they going to get moved into an even more exciting project after that? Are they just simply going to get rewarded in a way that makes them feel good about what they've actually done? So those are 3 quick examples of how not to abandon, or how you can abandon your team, and 3 quick examples of how not to abandon your team. And what it all comes down to, of course, is noble automation. And the now just means there's a sense of urgency to get it done. So good luck implementing noble automation in your organization.